Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Match day. 4 p.m. kickoff. Here's the Crawford Stadium. There's some typos.
6th, the official ground transportation provider for the 2024 CFU Boys Under 14 Challenge Series coordinators hosted in Trinidad and Tobago. And a special thanks to our partners, the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, Sport TT, I Choose Sport, Powerade, Subway, and Stream Blue. Scan the QR code now to win special merchandise packages. Prizes include a Sport TT notepad, a cap, a keychain, or a drawstring Visit Trinidad bag, a water bottle, and a microfiber towel, or a I Choose Sport t-shirt, pencil case, and a phone popper. Scan the QR code now to win special merchandise packages.
I know it's dangerous, but you're the only one who can unite the people.
You ready, Bob?
No guns can stop this message. I want the world to change. And that time is now.
This is my message to you.
Subway Series presents the Italianos. 3 new subs made with an Italian flair. Say ciao to the zesty hotshot Italiano, the tastier than ever ultimate BMT, or go all in with the boss. Each served with a free 16-ounce drink. Elevate your game at Subway.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
It doesn't matter if you speak English, or if your native tongue is French, Spanish, or Dutch. It doesn't matter if you are male or female, young or young at heart. We in the Caribbean Football Union speak the same language. Football.
Football.
Football. Football.
Football.
And we speak with one voice.
Welcome to the Hasely Crawford Stadium here in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. We are in the nation's capital today at the National Stadium, and well, the rain is pouring down, but we are in for some action. It's the semi-finals of the CFU 2024 Boys Under 14 Challenge Series. It's the first semi-final for you. Barbados taking on the Turks and Caicos Island. Proves to be a very, very intense affair. We've been with you throughout the week in the group stages of the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series, but we are finally at the business end in the semi-finals, and of course the winners of the semi-finals, all roads lead to the Dwight York Stadium in Tobago for that huge final on Sunday. But there they are, the two teams coming out. It's Barbados in their blue and the Turks and Caicos Islands in their yellow, led by the officials team. What a well-esteemed tournament. It's been really well run by the CFU and all those involved. And trust me, we've been thoroughly entertained with a lot of quality football. Bearing in mind, yes, these are under 14 boys playing at a very high level, and I'm sure as the action rolls out today, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So they are lining off side by side. They stand. We won't be hearing the Trinidad and Tobago national anthem right now, but the national anthems of Barbados and the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Barbados, to be followed by the national anthem of Turks and Caicos Islands.
Well, a true moment of national pride for these 22 young men out there who are ready to wave their flags high for a shot at advancing into this finals of the CFU Under 14 Challenge Series. Of course, both teams topping their groups, very strong in the group stage, hence the reason they are in the semi-finals. Barbados were perfect coming into this one, 4 wins out of their 4 games. The Turks and Caicos unbeaten as well, but 3 wins and a draw saw them top their group with 10 points. So very strong from both teams. Let's take a look at how Barbados will be lining up for this one. Shaquan King is in post. Captain Jamarco Johnson, who's absolutely on fire. No doubt that he's in the lineup. Xavier Thorne, Ty Waterman, Adam King, Tariq Collymore, Rosario Roach, Amari Small, Trey Barker, Malik Peters, and Zanari Griffith make up the starting lineup for the Bajans, of course headed by coach Fitzgerald Carter. Very strong lineup by the Bajans, and they've been dominating. They'll be planning to continue their dominance in this semi-final. For the side of the Turks and Caicos Islands, over in their yellow, as they take a little warm-up as well, we see the Bajans huddling, getting in their last bit of tactics as well. We take a look at the Turks and Caicos lineup. It's Edwin Garland in post, Captain David Hillaire, Jaden Montelas, Lucas Oten, Rashid Missick, Guerre, Jufson, Gardner, Wilson E. Charles, Jordan Dean, Joan Exelas, and Davol make up the lineup for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Of course, head coach Damian Singh. So both teams are getting in their last bit of tactics as the officials prepare for action themselves. Referee Charlize Hood, first assistant Jazani Kidd, second assistant referee Sophia Golding, and fourth official Giovan James. They'll be in charge of this one to ensure that proceedings go just the way that they should. There they go. Very rainy here in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, and well, if you thought that the only thing that would make this match difficult for these two teams was the pressure of it being a semi-final, how about throwing some weather elements of rain on this pitch to make it even more difficult to compete at this level? It does seem to be clearing up in the distance though, so we'll see how the weather progresses as the evening progresses itself. But it is going to be the Turks and Caicos Islands who will start us off, and we start off this evening's proceedings. Of course, semi-final 2 will be kicking off later as well, right here at the Hasty Crawford Stadium. That one at 6 p.m. between the high-flying Bermuda and Anguilla. So a lot of action in the CFU Under-14 Boys Challenge Series as we come into the, as I said, the business end of this tournament. And this is where the real action comes about. This is where we see the big game players. This is where we see moments of brilliance and defining moments that really cause us to love this beautiful game of football. We are aiming for a 4 p.m. kickoff, so the referees just waiting on that signal, just about 3:59 here in Trinidad and Tobago. So we do have a minute until play does kick off. And just to tell you, one Jamarco Johnson for Barbados, flying very high, the captain. 5 goals he has already in this tournament, and he'll definitely be looking to add to his tally. But the Turks and Caicos will be doing everything they can to prevent any sort of threat of the Barbados captain, the 3 Tridents. Players just awaiting that opening whistle, trying to stay a bit warm, bouncing around a bit. Always can be so anxious at these stages when you're just waiting for that final whistle to go, for the ice to finally be broken and for the match to finally start. And there we are, we're off. So it's the Turks and Caicos who start us off in this first semi-final of the Tier 2 CFU Under-14 Boys Challenge Series, and they take on Barbados. As I mentioned earlier, both teams top in their group. Barbados with 4 wins out of their 4 games, a 12-point group stage campaign. The Turks and Caicos, well, they were also undefeated, but with a draw in their 4 games along with their 3 victories, 10 points. Nevertheless, both teams very dominant at the group stage. And as you can see, Barbados starting off a bit on the front foot, getting that early foul and trying to whip one into the box, but nothing really doing, and it is a goal kick for the Turks and Caicos, and they will look to build from the back. That ball is launched up, and already you could see it skidding off of the surface. As I said, it's not going to be easy. Players slip in as well. So they're going to have to be very careful, because any little mistake could cost you your spot in the finals. But here's Waterman for Barbados, throws it into Collymore. Trying to find his teammate Barker, but couldn't. But here's Barker now, looking for space. But it's intercepted and launched upfield by the Turks and Caicos defense. But that should be easily gobbled up by Shaquan King. There again, you see the ball skidding and players slipping as well. This time it's Malik Peter as well. He's a very pacey player, is Peters. And having this skiddy surface is not going to help him, because he usually just likes to burst through. And it's very difficult to run on a wet football field. But that's good defending there by Adam King. Of course, has a couple of goals in this tournament as well, threatening on the set piece for Barbados. And here they are in possession now. But that's some lovely skill, but cleaned up. And possession back with Barbados. Here's Waterman into Collymore. Good possession here from the Bajans. Waterman plays it forward and unable to control. There's Malik Peters. It is difficult. Jamako Johnson launches that one forward, and that's a decent looking ball. Oh, and a mistake from the goalkeeper, but actually somehow it worked out for him. And I'll tell you what, the Turks and Caicos have gotten away with one there, because Trey Barker was lurking. But Barbados do well to win back possession, and here's Barker now, and he's onside. Has options in the middle as well, and that's excellent work from Barker. Can he find a man in the middle? That's brilliant defending. Johnson, wonderful tackle. Strike comes in still. Barbados still on the prowl. Here's Peters. And eventually, the referee blows. There were two Turks and Caicos players on the ground. What a passage of play that was. Referee decides to ask for attention from the physios. Bodies were flying all over. Nevertheless, does seem to be Barbados who are the more likely team so far. They've made the moves. There are the two Turks and Caicos Islands players on the ground there. It's Jaden Montelas as well as his teammate. They're just getting some spray, maybe slipped. And just getting that attention. So we're just in the 4th minute, and we're already seeing the introduction of the physios into the game. And it does seem as if both players are okay, so they should be ready for battle once again. And they defended very well. There was some great work down the right-hand side for Trey Barker. From Trey Barker rather, and Barbados. But we are ready to get back, and it's Edwin Garland to launch this one up for the Turks and Caicos Islands. And again, the ball just skids over. Xavier Thorne there with the throw-in for Barbados into Roach. Here's Barker once again. He's dangerous down the right-hand side, and it's more trickery from the number 8. Can he find a ball inside? Swings it over. It's Griffith on the back post, but he just can't control, can he? And it just gets away from him. But Barbados, nevertheless, still in possession. It's good defending by Turks and Caicos. And Griffith in the end just nicking it away from Guerrier. So it does seem as if the rain is easing up a bit. Still drizzling. You can see the droplets on the track. Not through in there. Cleared away once again. This time by Exelos. But actually he got the throw in the end, so it probably took a deflection off of Denari Griffith, who by the way is a very pacey player on that left-hand side for Barbados. But here come the Turks and Caicos Islands. Again, slippery ball, so it's going to be difficult to do throw-ins as well. Here's Johnson. Haven't really seen too much of him in the early stages. Here's Griffith. Can't get past his man. Waterman plays it into space, but here's an opportunity now for the Turks and Caicos. It's Charles driving through at the Barbados defense. Got a ball through, but it's some good defending by Waterman. But danger still there, and a good tackle from Adam King. But I'll tell you what, first corner goes to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Yep, there's Coach Damian Singh telling his team to pick up the pace. They have been second best so far, so you can absolutely understand why that would be his messaging. So they have a chance here now, and it's going to be Basden Darval to take this free kick for his country in the 7th minute of action. Swung in right under the goalkeeper, and it slips. Big chance, but referee signals a free kick. May have been a foul on the goalkeeper. Yeah, I think that was the case. Let's take another look at it. Absolutely no Turks and Caicos players putting pressure on the keeper, but it was swung in. And let's see if there was any sort of infringement. Nobody really attacking the ball at all. Yep, but it was a foul on Shaquan King as he came to claim it. And the Bajans have a free kick deep in the defensive half once again. Collymore to take this one for Barbados, and he launches it upfield. It's missed by the defender. You're going to see a lot of that today, not because these players are incompetent, but just solely due to the fact of the weather conditions. Waterman throws that into Peters, but he can't control, and it's hooked away by Rashid Missick. Very, very solid centre-back is he. Tell you what, both teams have some solid centre-backs. Yep, a bit of laughter on the bench there. They could laugh. Players on the field have to be absolutely focused, don't they? So Collymore to throw this one in. It's a long throw, and he does well. And it's cleared away as far as Jamarco Johnson, who tried a jab at it with his left foot, but in the end it was well wide, and actually he might have won himself a corner there. Referee says it took a deflection, so corner kick Barbados. As it takes in Caicos bench, serious faces over there, but it is Amari Small to take this one. What a talent he is. Small whips in a decent looking ball. Barker! Just over the bar. And the first real big chance goes to Barbados. Off of the set piece as well. And we know that they are very threatening on the set piece. Turks and Caicos have to be careful. Here they are again. That ball cleared into Dean, but given away. He gets back possession for his team here. Ball played through, but easily intercepted by the Barbados defense, and once again given away. So a bit sloppy in the midfield from both teams here, and eventually Adam King just has to slice that one out of play. Throw in Turks and Caicos. 10th minute of this semi-final, the first of two today in Tier 2 of the Boys CFU Under-14 Challenge Series here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Oh, that's some lovely skill as well. Can they make something of this, the Turks and Caicos? They can't. Waterman is back and well positioned. Johnson out wide to Griffith. Continues his run, does Johnson. And ends up conceding a throw. Some anxious faces there. Bajan fans, they know how important this match is. King launches that one upfield. And equally launched back by Utin, his opposite number. Here's King once again. Good skill from Amari Small, but it's nicked off of him by Dean, and here's Barker. He's had a Very exciting start to this game, and he plays a decent ball over into Peters, who slips once again. And yeah, that's really going to be tough for him because the amount of speed he moves with is going to be very slippery. They're all out in their numbers there, supporting their team as that ball comes in once again for Barbados. Johnson hits the deck. No foul call by the referee. And they're doing really well here, are the Bajans, to win back possession. As soon as they lose the ball, they immediately get it back. Peters, once again, can't control. Here's Roach. It's a big touch. He gives it away. And here come the Turks and Caicos. Lovely skill from Charles. And he plays the ball through, but Waterman's pace is too much. It was Exelos there who was in hot pursuit of that pass. But Shaquan King was quickly off his line. That one just coming off of Exelos and concedes the throw to the Bajans. Here they go, here's Peters. Ooh, he's being hacked at there by Montelos, and referee Charlie's Hood just giving him a bit of a talking to say, yeah, just calm down a little bit there. In the slippery conditions, you are very tempted to throw in a slide or two. Collymore launches that one in. Oh, decent control as well from Griffith, but just couldn't keep it under his spell. And allows Montelos to get it clear, but actually he's fouled in the process. Well, fans are starting to roll in now to the stadium, in the covered stands at least. CFU Boys Under 14 Challenge Series has produced some very special moments. We've seen some brilliant goals, we've seen hat-tricks, we've seen large, huge 10-1 victories, we've seen red cards, we've seen it all throughout the course of the past week. Really has produced and has been so entertaining for all those watching here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean as well. Lovely to see these young men getting a chance to showcase their talent to the world. And here come the Turks and Caicos Islands. Lovely ball through, but just a bit short. But here comes Dini, emerges with it. And a big chance here for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Strike comes in as well. It was a dinked effort, I think, there by Gardiner, but never troubling Shaquan King in the Barbados post. Let's take another look. It was Charles there who was well tackled by Collymore. What a time tackle that was. And then, yeah, it was Gardner who just tried to dink it, I think, with his left foot, but to no avail. Quick throw taken there. And here's Johnson. He's not the man you want to give the ball to in those areas, but he's well defended and commits a foul. That's excellent work from Guerrier. Still 0-0 here in the 15th minute of the first half. Barbados with a huge chance early on. Trey Barker with a header just rising over the crossbar. Turks and Caicos Islands are growing into it gradually as well. That one is played over the top. Oh, and Jamarco Johnson was lurking, but again, the ball is just absolutely skidding off of the wet surface here. Here's the Crawford Stadium. Garland launches it up into the sky. King. Played over by Gardner. Could be problems here for Barbados as well. Charles is in. And Shaquan King had to come off his line and ended up doing very well. And it's a throw-in for Barbados. Yeah, the Bajans there, heart in their mouth. That was a bit scary if you're a Bajan fan, of course. But the keeper knew what he was doing, and actually he's won a goal kick. So that makes it even better. Launches it up, but it's a poor clearance, and again, difficult to control. Peters plays a nice ball through into Amari Small, and he's driving down the right-hand side. Johnson has burst into the box, and it's good goalkeeping by Garland. Stood firm at his near post and gathered very well, especially given the wet circumstances. But that's the threat of the Bajans down that right-hand side. We saw Barker early on having some success, and now we see Amari Small, who really is a live wire in this Barbados team. And if you give him too much space, yeah, that's problems. Roach with a nice little ball through into Jamarco Johnson. Here's another live wire in the Barbados team, but that ball is way too heavy, even for the pace of Malik Peters on top. Again, Garland launches it up, but King is first to it. Again, cleared up field by the Bajans. That one is sliced through, and Charles could run onto it. Shaquan King is favorite. Oh, this could be problems. It's a poor clearance. He's off his line. Effort comes in as well. Collimore's back, but Charles is still here. Can they score from it? It's Gardner with the strike, and it's over the bar. And oh, look at the reaction there. They knew how big of a chance that was, but it's very sloppy from the Bajans. Turks and Caicos capitalizing well. There was the early chance. That one was the more difficult. It was Collymore who just tried to clear it, but got it all wrong. And that caused even more problems for the Bajans. But here they go again, Waterman. Well tackled by Exilus. Turks and Caicos starting to apply some pressure, starting to force some errors as well from the Bajan goalkeeper and back line. They have to be very careful, Barbados. In matches like these, sometimes it's just one goal, one mistake that can cost you. Montelos is tackled there by Jamarco Johnson, who plays a decent ball into Malik Peters, who once again can't control. Hasn't had the best first half so far, Peters. It's been difficult for him. And there's a foul as well. I think it's Peters again who's been penalized. So that just kind of makes his half worse. And it is Guerrier for the Turks and Caicos Islands who is on the ground. And he's receiving some attention. Normally at this point in time, we would have a bit of a cooling break for the players due to extreme heat. However, because of the rain, I don't think the referee is going to have any cooling break in this first half, or maybe even the second, as I expect conditions to stay overcast there in Port of Spain, in the nation's capital. Roach launches that one forward, and it slips all the way through. Barker is charging, but he's just impeded. Open post. Malik Peters slips. Oh, and this could be problems. But Barker is offside. The ball still didn't end up in the net, but he was offside there, Trey Barker. But another blunder from a goalkeeper, this time on the side of the Turks and Caicos. And, well, the Bajans there, their eyes would have lit up, but those lights would have been quickly dimmed by the line's official's flag. So the Turks and Caicos Islands now getting away with one. Another poor clearance again. And you really have to think it's the conditions, don't you? Here's Peters. Griffith into Peter, trying to play the 1-2, but it didn't come off. Another missed clearance again. It's really scrappy out there. Here's Roach. Slips it into Barker. Lovely skill. And he's fouled, is Trey Barker. And it's a free kick in a very dangerous position. And look how quickly Jamarco Johnson goes across to the ball. This is his kind of range. Big chance here for Barbados in this first half. 0-0 still in this semi-final. And Jamarco Johnson is standing over a free kick just at the edge of the D. Captain for Barbados. Can he open the scoring here? And put one Barbados foot in that finals on Sunday in Tobago. He's been the only candidate to take it. Nobody else standing over it. Amari Small just giving him a bit of advice. But he quickly runs away because he knows this is captain's duty. Referee just spotting something she's not pleased with, dealing with it very quickly. And Johnson can now take a strike. Johnson strikes it straight into the wall. Good defending by the Turks and Caicos Islands. And further cleared, so it's a throw-in for the Bajans. A bit disappointing from Jamarco Johnson. We know he usually produces better than that. Cleared away once again, this time by Hilaire. And another throw-in for the Bajans. It's left for Collymore this time. We know he has that long throw. And yep, that looks to be exactly what it's going to be. Collymore goes long, heads go up, Small is under it, but Turks and Caicos Islands deal with it well. Johnson strikes it, it's blocked, and another strike comes in. And once again, blocked by that yellow wall. And it's another corner kick here for the Bajans. They sense blood, as you could see them on the bench there. They think that a goal is imminent. It's Amari Small once again for Barbados. Oh, it's low this time. Pretty poor once again. Wins it back nicely. Here's Small. Good footwork from him. Gets in a bit of a jam there. And yeah, it's a foul. And that'll be a free kick for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Advantage played actually by the referee. Garland launches that one up into King. Here's Johnson. Slips in Barker, and Barker does well. Big save, Garland, and he recovers to hold on as well. And they get away with another one, but the Bajans have their tails up. Very important save there from Garland. Could prove to be very crucial. Though it's been 0-0, it's by no means been a boring affair. We've had our fair share of action. The real question is, who is going to break this deadlock first? Here's Dean. Turks and Caicos trying to respond to that onslaught of Bajan attacks. Here's Barker though for Barbados. Griffith has runners and sees a beautiful ball into Amari Small, who's offside. And it was saved again by Garland. But even if it did go in, it wouldn't have counted. But they're getting closer, the Bajans. Amari Small just didn't hold his run. Let's take another look. Barker intercepting it in the midfield. Griffith giving it back to him as well. And then look at that. Lovely ball through, and he has Small just offside, I think. And couldn't finish anyway. Garland was off his line beautifully and saved well. That one played forward, but Collymore looks to be in complete control. His clearance is poor though, could be problems here for Barbados. Here's Gardner. Exelos is wide in some space. Will he have a strike? He does. And it's somewhat held by Shaquan King. Cleared upfield. Turks and Caicos have been second best in my opinion, but they've still been pretty good. They've had their chances, they've applied pressure. It is a free kick for Barbados. No rush to take it whatsoever. It is going to be Collymore. Usually does stand over these deep line free kicks, can't kick it very long. There he goes, launches it into danger area, but it's well cleared away by Dean. Here's King. King has a strike, but way out. And here he is again, Adam King. This time he finds Small wide, but it's well intercepted by the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's Charles. lingered on the ball just a bit too long and allowed the Bajans to recover. About 9 minutes remaining in this first half. Still 0-0 in this semi-final. Very high quality match thus far. As you would imagine, both teams topped their groups. Barbados won all their matches. Turks Caicos with 3 wins and a draw. So for all the Arsenal fans out there, both of these teams are invincible so far in this tournament. But that invincible run is going to come to an end today for one of these teams. That's lovely skill, but it's given away. Here's Dean looking for Exilus, but he's fouled in the process, and referee calls back the play. So Turks Caicos on the front foot now in this passage of play. And they're committing some bodies forward as well, so maybe trying to create a big chance from this one. It is going to be Guerrier, the number 7 for the Turks and Caicos Islands, who's standing over it. Guerrier launches it in, and that one sails long and wide of Shaquan King's post. So 0-0 it remains. Yep, so the rain has stopped, which would be good news for the players, but of course the surface rather is still wet due to the heavy downpour that we had like about an hour ago, about 45 minutes ago. Of course, to remind you again that there is the second semi-final right here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium of the Tier 2 in the CFU Under-14 Boys Challenge Series. And that one is between Bermuda and Anguilla, a Bermuda team who are absolutely flying in this tournament. And when I tell you flying, they are looking brilliant. The likes of Gion Wolf, Ziani Jennings, Zidon Fuba, just to name a few. Yeah, they'll come up against an Anguilla team that finished second in their group. They finished the second best finisher out of the 3 Tier 2 groups, hence the reason they're in the semi-finals. But even though the Bermudans are flying high, and the Anguillans may be on paper, the 4th best team, in the semi-finals, you still have to think that it's an even match, don't you? As Barbados are on the defense now. The Turks and Caicos Islands have a free kick in a very dangerous position. It's Guerrier standing over it. What can they construct here? Guerrier goes to goal. King heads it out, but Guerrier has a second bite of the cherry. It's good defending there from Amari Smoldo. A battle of the number 7s. And well, another free kick it seems here for the Turks and Caicos Islands. It's actually a throw-in. Here they are still in possession and fighting. Now it's a foul. Basden Davol is fouled there, and another dangerous free kick here for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Might have a pop at goal here. Gardner, he has it in his locker to shoot from distance. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to put some pressure on Shaquan King with those slippery gloves. Strike does come in, and it's decent as well. And King did get a fingertip on it. And it is a corner for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So in the last 5 minutes of this first half, Turks and Caicos Islands have decided to put some pressure back on this Barbados defense. It's Basden Davol who has run across to take the corner kick. Whipped in. Cleared away by Parker. Didn't know too much about it. Got it away on the second time, and then he's helped out ably by Jamarco Johnson. And it's a Turks and Caicos Islands throw-in. Exelos is under it, but the Bajans defend well. But here he gets it eventually. Exelos finds Dean on the inside, who has a strike. Oh, and that one just seemed to move in slow motion, but it was just wide of the post. It was Dean, Calabria Dean, who got the effort away. Big chance there for the Turks and Caicos Islands. This time it's Barbados who gets away with one. That one is cleared up field by Thorne. And straight out of play as well. Turks and Caicos back in possession. It's good work there from Bazden Davol. Really is a hard worker, but it's nicked off of him by the Bajans. Here's Exelos, finds a ball into Charles. Goes wide, Exelos continues his run, and Waterman is there. Good defending from him, but loses out and slides. And it's a throw-in for the Turks and Caicos Islands. He was on the field there, was Exelos. Montelos looks to be charging up for a long throw. Exelos knocks it back down for him and tried to go for the cross, but got it all wrong. And chance goes a-begging for the Turks and Caicos Islands. King launches it upfield. Haven't seen a Bajan attack in a long time, but it only takes a few seconds, especially if this man, Jamarco Johnson, is on the ball. And here he goes driving through the midfield, and that could be a booking. Nope, referee doesn't give the card. Definitely a foul, though, from Guerrier on Johnson. Haven't really seen much of the Bajan captain, but that's the quality of the man. He could go missing for an entire game and just come up with a moment of brilliance. Collymore launches that one upfield, and it finds its way to Malik Peters, who once again just can't find his footing. Here's Exelos into Charles. King intercepts Johnson. Good turn, but concedes possession. Likewise do the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's Small, lovely pace from him. Has options in the box as well, but he just overran it. His pace proved to be too good for him there. There's that Bajan bench. They're starting to get a bit antsy supporting their team. They feel that they should have been a goal up with the kind of chances that they've had. But nevertheless, it's still 0-0. 1 minute remains in this first half. That ball is still skidding all over the place. King plays it off of Exelos for Barbados through. Both teams working very hard. Has to be said, Exelos on this right-hand side has been running up and down all game for the Turks and Caicos. That one is sliced by Waterman. Could be problems. Charles can't get past King. That one is launched upfield by Lucas Oten. Taken down by Thorne. Here's Amari Small. Just settling the play a bit. Goes back to Collymore. Barker did score a beautiful long-range effort in the group stage of the tournament. Trey Barker actually came off the bench and did that as well. He does have it in him as Collymore launches that one forward. Beats everybody and finds Griffith. 1 minute added on by the officials in his first half. Here's Peters once again, can't control it. Really has had a tough time, Malik Peters. Usually very quality, but I think the conditions have just affected him a bit. Roach, and the Bajans find a goal late on in this first half. It's a throw-in for Barbados. If I were them, I would throw the kitchen sink at this attack. Not much time remaining. More than likely will be the last bit of action in this first half. So it's actually a free kick. And it's Adam King. Usually he goes up for these. This time he's on free kick duty and he strikes it actually. Finds Johnson! And it was a decent effort as well. Bayesian Camper loving that. But it's just over the crossbar. That's the confidence he has. Let's take another look. King just drove it in to the Turks and Caicos Islands box. And the touch set up nicely for Johnson. Struck it well, but couldn't keep it down. And as I said, that is the last bit of action in this first half. It's been an action-packed one. Both teams have had their chances, but neither able to find the back of the net. It is 0-0 between Barbados and the Turks and Caicos Islands in this Tier 2 semi-final of the CFU Boys Under 14 Challenge Series. It's definitely been one to watch. I wouldn't take my eyes off of this at all. Both teams are going after it. Both teams want to book their spot in that final on Sunday at the Dwight York Stadium in Tobago. Determined faces on the Turks and Caicos Islands bench. I'm pretty sure similar pictures over in the Barbados camp as well. It is 0-0 here in the Hasely Crawford Stadium. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Amari Small had some corners, and this chance here from Trey Barker, well, he did ever so well to even get the header away, but it was just over the bar, and it really was the Bajans who had the better chances. You have to think tackles were flying in the midfield on this wet surface as well. Players sliding all over the place. That one referee just had to intervene. Jamarco Johnson didn't really get involved much. That ball played through to Barker. Big chance for him. He opened up nicely. What a save that was from Edwin Garland in the Turks and Caicos Islands post, and he recovered well. Barker has really been involved. He found Griffith out wide, and Griffith looked up, slipped in. It was Amari Small there, but just was a bit too eager. And even though he got his shot away, the lines official's flag went up. Gardner had some glimpses as well in the midfield. Exilus was industrious on the right-hand side for the Turks and Caicos Islands. That strike straight into the palms of Shaquan King. And this was the effort from Gardner as well. Just tipped over the bar by King in the Barbados post. So both teams really have been on it, has to be said. This was the big chance for Dean Exilus with some lovely skill, just finding the number 10, who just kind of curled it. And look at that, how close is that? Just spinning wide. And you could understand the agony for the Turks and Caicos Islands. And just at the end of the half, King fizzing it into Johnson, who improvised well, hit it purely, but just couldn't get the accuracy. And that has been the action really in this first half, which is 0-0 in the semi-final between Barbados and the Turks and Caicos Islands. So we are going to take a break, and I beg you, matter of fact, I advise you, don't go anywhere. We are in for a very exciting second half. We'll be back in a few. in the first, but they have nothing to show for it. But here's Peters trying to change that conversation early on in the second. Bit sloppy, but Turks and Caicos somewhat get the ball away, and that one is cleared out. So there was a substitution for the Bajans, and it is Rajari Rollins who has entered into the fray for the Bajans. Believe it was Denari Griffith, the number 19, who has made way for Rollins. Nevertheless, Bajans on the front foot in the second half. That one is cleared away by Montelas with conviction and put out for a throw by Waterman. So huge match here in the CFU Boys Under 14 Challenge Series. It is the semi-final. And well, of course, if you do follow sports or anything, you would know that after the semi-finals is the final, and that will be played in Tobago in the Dwight York Stadium. Huge. Both teams really on it today. Who will be the team to advance into Sunday's proceedings? That one is cleared out of play by Collymore. Have been very solid in those centre-back positions, have Adam King and Tariq Collymore for Barbados. Tall figures as well. Throw in again from the Turks and Caicos Islands. Trying to respond to that early Bajan quick start. And a high boot there. Referee signals a foul in the direction of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Actually, it's another throw. There were questions over a high boot there, but just a throw. And actually, it's a foul throw as well. So possession cheaply over to the Bajans. It is something that we have seen in the tournament a lot this week. A lot of foul throws, something that coaches will have to work on when they head back to their training camps after the tournament. Small couldn't get it into his stride, and is easily cleared away there by Exilus. Towards Charles, who gets possession, but Collymore stood tall and actually, I think, might have handled the ball, and, well, he's booked as well. So that's the first yellow card of this match, and it goes to Tariq Collymore of Barbados. And I'll tell you what, he concedes a free kick in a very dangerous position here. So after that, he's going to have to do some defending as well. It's Gardner who's standing over it for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So after a quick start from the Bajans, it's the Turks and Caicos who have the first real big chance for a threat on goal. Or a chance on goal, rather. Gardner is over it and he puts it back. Shot comes in as well, and it's always rising, wasn't it, there from Guerrier. Does have a strike on him. Just couldn't keep it down. And Shaquan King escapes. Here's Waterman into Collymore, who is booked now. So he's going to have to be careful. Roach, given away cheaply. Gardner just couldn't keep it under his possession. And possession given back to Barbados and quickly back to the Turks and Caicos Islands. So a bit sloppy from both teams there. Adam King, usually very composed on the ball that time, just passed it straight out of play. Guerrier battling, and Small does well to get possession. This could be problems for the Turks and Caicos Island. He's charging down the right-hand side. Amari Small has options in the box, drives her across, and it's well saved by Garland. He's really had a good game in the post, has Edwin Garland for the Turks and Caicos Islands. But you do think Amari Small might have got that ball across a bit quicker. Corner kick, though, for Barbados. Small has another chance. Well, this time he should get it across quickly because it's a corner. And number 7 for Barbados. Whips it in nicely as well. Heads go up. I think it's King there, but he flicked it on instead of shooting. Here's Johnson. Looking for his 6th goal of the tournament. That's blocked by Dean. Still in possession though, Barbados. Here's King. Whips that one in behind Barker. Tried to flick it on, but he was offside anyway. Remember, he did have that headed chance in the first half. Second time around, he was offside. And Turks and Caicos Islands could breathe after that little stint of Bajan attack. Gardner plays that one forward, and it beats the Bajan midfield, but can't breach the defense. And it's good work from Exilus. Bajan camp look a bit more composed as well. I guess during the half they would have gotten their instructions and been reassured by coach Fitzgerald Carter. Charles battles well and wins possession. Finds Exilus, who tries to play it first time, but it's well blocked. And further cleared by Amari Small. Rollins commits a foul on Montelas, who gets up very quickly, and it's a free kick for the Turks and Caicos Islands. To remind you once again, this is the first of 2 semi-finals being played here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium this afternoon. Later on, it is Bermuda, a team who I think have been most impressive in the tournament so far, at least out of the Tier 2 groups. They take on Anguilla. It's the best second-place finisher. Cleared away by Waterman. And Rollins won't be able to catch that one, so it's a throw-in high up the pitch now for the Turks and Caicos Islands. It really has cleared up weather-wise here this afternoon. It was absolutely pouring rain about an hour or so ago. Now we have some decent sunshine, still a bit overcast, but these are the kind of conditions that at least I like to play football in. Strike comes in and he slips while hitting it, Guerrier. But he wins his team a corner. Did come off a blue shirt last. So another opportunity for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Actually, he was fouled in the process of taking the shot with a drop ball. So it probably came off the ref. Gardner tried a quick one and missed by the defender. This could be problems. Malik Peters has a lot of pace and he finds a decent ball across, but too close to Edwin Garland and the kind of form that he's been this afternoon. Well, that was bread and butter. Launched forward. Couldn't control it there. Basden Daval. Bajan's in possession. Here's Rollins out on the wide left-hand side for Barbados. Remember, he did come on for Denari Griffith at halftime. And he's well tackled. And looks like problems as well. I think it's Montelas who made the challenge on Rollins, and he's rolling. It looks to be in a lot of pain there. Physios have been called into action. There they are. And not sure exactly what happened. Maybe his foot bent or something while making that challenge. It really looks in a lot of pain there. Substitutes are immediately sent out to warm up. And we do hope that he's okay though, Jayden Montelas. He's had a very good game. Really wouldn't want to see his afternoon end to injury. We never like to see that. But he is off the field, so he'll receive his treatment, and the Turks and Caicos Islands will continue with 10 men. Gardner launches that straight out of play, much to the disappointment of everybody in a yellow jersey. Here's Johnson. Really yet to stamp his dominance in this match as yet, Jamarco Johnson. Here he is though. And he's well tackled once again by the Turks and Caicos Islands. Then they emerge with the ball, but give away possession immediately. Dean battling hard, and it's well won by Basden Daval. And he's fouled in his efforts as well. It's a free kick for the Turks and Caicos Islands. It does seem as if Montelos is okay. He's back on the pitch. Physios have to take the long way around this time. Collymore had to improvise there and cleared it out. So another throw in here for the Turks and Caicos Islands. They topped their group, 10 points, 3 wins and a draw in their 4 matches in the group stages. Very impressive. Bajans with 4 wins out of their 4. Even more impressive. As Waterman clears that one out for another Turks and Caicos Islands through. Here's Dean. Can't control. Another throw for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Guerrier. Montelos back into the action immediately. Guerrier swings it in. It's deflected. Gardner couldn't get it under his spell. And possession in the midfield with the Bajans. Here's Jamarco Johnson. No foul, says the referee. Dean slips in Guerrier, but couldn't get it once again. But Dean is back in possession. Scoops it for Gardner. And King is timely. Here's Small. Amari Small. Thorne. Back into Small. Looks up and finds a ball into the middle. Johnson flicks it on. Here's Rollins. It's good defending by the Turks and Caicos Islands, but Johnson back in possession, battling hard. He knows how important this match is. And there he goes. He swings it in. Peters. Here's Small at the back post. And Barbados take the lead. It's a Bridgetown special from Amari Small. And he runs across to the stands to celebrate. The Bajan camp goes wild. And Jude Bellingham, is he? No, it's Amari Small. And he's given the Bajans the lead in the semi-finals. Well, what a big goal that is. A big player. Never mind, his name is Amari Small. That's huge. And let's take another look. Jamarco Johnson at the heart of it. Peters missed the strike, but lurking on the back post was Small, who made no mistake. What a beautiful finish on his left foot through the legs of Edwin Garland. And he celebrates, and rightfully so. Amari Small with a big moment for Barbados. And they lead 1-0 here in the semi-final of the CFU Under-14 Boys Challenge Series. What a tournament he's having, and he scored in the big moments, and that's what I was talking about. This is when we see the true colors of these players. But we are waiting to restart here. There have been some injuries to the Turks and Caicos Island players. Just off of your shot there, receiving some treatment. I believe it's Montelos once again, so it seems as if he's injured himself further in his efforts, but he's back onto his feet. We know he's a fighter, so we do expect him to rejoin, but it is all about Barbados right now. They lead 1-0, and that's the threat of the likes of Jamarco Johnson. Hasn't really been in the game for the course of the 48 minutes, but just needs one moment to create something, and there he was, turning provider for Amari Small. So pressure on the Turks and Caicos Islands now. Here's Exelos. Can they respond? Can they find an equalizer in the semi-final? Adam King up into Peters. He has a lot of pace, and he's going to drive at any defender he comes up against. Here he is, still going. Guerrier comes across to help to defend, but Peters is shaking, and it's excellent defense from the Turks and Caicos Islands, number 7. But it's a corner kick for Barbados. Small, the goal scorer, will take it for Barbados, who now have 1 foot in the finals in Tobago. Small, disappointing. But he'll have a second chance, maybe. No. Good work from Hilaire, who plays it up into Exelos. Knocks it forward into Charles. It's a good move here from Turks and Caicos Islands, but how about that for defending from Tariq Collymore? on a yellow card and takes the risk. That's the heart and soul defending that any coach loves to see. Fitzgerald Carter will be absolutely pleased with that. Dean concedes a throw. No foul. Was looking for it. Johnson controls very nicely and he turns. Looks for that long pass. We know he loves those long floated passes over the top of defenses. Haven't seen much of it today. Thrown into Peters. But it's a foul throw, I believe, and possession back with the Turks and Caicos Islands. About 20 minutes of normal time remaining here. Barbados lead 1-0 through Amari Small goal. Lovely left foot finish from the Bajan number 7. Peters does well, and he's driving now at the Turks and Caicos Islands defense. Here's Barker, has Johnson behind him. He didn't look up. Barker still doing well, and yep, that should be a foul and maybe even a yellow card. I think it was Hilaire who had a hold of Barker's jersey. Referee says it's just a free kick in a very dangerous area as well, but Turks and Caicos Islands are also preparing a substitution. Let's take another look. It's Barker. Yeah, did well. Just got the better of Hilaire. And yeah, you can't do that, can you, David Hilaire? It is going to be Scott Kamalapat who's coming on for the Turks and Caicos Islands. That will probably follow this passage of play. But they do have some defending to do here. Referee Charlie's Hood just making sure the wall is well built. And it will be a free kick for Barbados. Amari Small standing over it. Decent ball. Near post. Barker! What a goal there! And Amari Small turns provider. And Barker finally gets his goal. And look at it. Yep. I knew it was going to come out. The Rashford celebration. Trey Barker. What a finish that was. And Barbados are in cruise control here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. He's still celebrating there. Trey Barker just making sure he gets that picture for his Instagram post later. And that man in your shot there, Amari Small, well, if you had any questions over man of the match, I think he's cemented it already. Beautiful free kick from him there. And a lovely glancing finish from Trey Barker. Let's take another look at it. Amari Small, well, he knew what he was all about. Just dinks it inch perfect over the wall as well. Take a look at this. Right over the heads of all of them. Barker made the run near post and just a delicate touch near post. And even though Edwin Garland has been in top form, there's no saving that. And the Bajans have a big 2-0 lead here in the semi-finals, and they could almost smell the Tobago air as they are well and truly on their way to that final. But here's the substitution that we were speaking about. It is indeed Scott Kamalapat who is entering on the pitch. And it will be Rashid Misik who is making way for the Turks and Caicos Islands number 6. Well, they need goals. It's as simple as that for the boys in yellow. Because the boys in blue are marching on. Here's Amari Small into Barker, the most recent goal scorer and assister. That one played through by Johnson, but offside was Rollins. And free kick for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Yep. So they have about 16 minutes now to find 2 goals and at least force penalties. And you have to feel for Edwin Garland because he has been absolutely brilliant throughout this game, and you really can't blame him for the 2 goals that were scored, can you? So foul there on Dean, and a free kick now for the Turks and Caicos Islands. You do feel that they have to capitalize on each and every opportunity that they get. Dean whips it in. It's short, though easily intercepted by Barker. But possession back with Turks and Caicos. Dean has a strike, blocked though by King, and cleared away by the Bajans. And now they can lead a counter-attack. It's Jamarco Johnson, the captain, has options wide. Oh, decent ball, but just ahead of Rollins, who was making that run. He used Peters as a decoy and played it over to Rollins, but it was just ahead. But another injury to a Turks and Caicos Islands player. Referee just signaling that, so the physios are on once again on the pitch, but they are going to need some sort of inspiration here. Haven't had a look on goal in a while, and the opposition have had 2 looks on goal, and guess what? 2 goals as well. So it was Charles who was receiving treatment, but good signs there as he jogs off confidently. And it will be play resumed with a free kick here for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Edwin Garland. Here's Guerrier. Clears it upfield. That's good defending by Thorne. Finds Johnson. Johnson slips in Malik Peters. Small is wide. Here's Amari Small. Plays it across the edge of the D, but it's cleared away by the Turks and Caicos Islands. Collymore launches back the ball into the mixer. Oh, that one just ahead of Small. He used all his spring there, didn't he? Seems to have injured himself in the process as well. That's good work from Peters. Don't think Small fell well there. He's holding his side, and well, that's not good news for the Bajans. They'll be hoping that he's okay, because he has been absolutely brilliant, and not just for the rest of this game, but if they are to go on and win this match, they're going to absolutely need him in the final. So we're hoping that he's okay. Amari Small, I think he might have just fallen on his hip. Let's take a look at that goal again. Look at that beautiful dinked ball in, and Trey Barker, he's free, is he? Yeah, he's free. Just got ahead of the defender on a lovely little touch. Just enough to beat Edwin Garland in the post. And there's Small. He's back on his feet and seems to be moving freely. So that's good signs for the Bajans. Here's a throw-in for the Turks and Caicos Islands, though time is running out for them. They need a goal, and they need it quick. Parker battling in the midfield. Here's Exelos. Ball finds its way to Scott. Here he is again. Good skill from him. But possession given away. Charles works hard though. But King is stronger. And here's a foul by Charles on King. And also a yellow card there for Charles. That's the second yellow card of the match. Of course, Collymore for Barbados. Terry Collymore was booked early on, the number 5. And now Wilson E. Charles is in the book for the Turks and Caicos Islands. So a free kick here for Barbados. Trey Barker, the scorer of the second goal for the Bajans, is standing over it. Can they find a third goal and really put the icing on the cake? It's a lovely ball as well. Oh, and a big chance. It's Roach. Yeah, he is still in possession. Roach tried to beat Basden Darvall on the line. But number 17 for Turks and Caicos Islands stood tall. Nevertheless, it's a throw-in for the Bajans. It's Collymore coming up. So you know what that means. A long throw. Does have that ability to launch that ball into the box. And here he goes. There it is, that long throw into Barker. Well defended by Dean. Johnson has a strike, I think, but it's blocked and cleared away by the Turks and Caicos Islands. That's Good intervention by Thorne, but Charles is under it. And he's fouled by Thorne as well. Approaching that 60-minute mark. Turks and Caicos Islands find themselves down 2-0. They have 10 minutes to restore or to try and restore parity. Here's Charles, cleared away by King. Small, what a match he's had, a goal and an assist from Amari Small, and a lovely ball through into Rollins. Oh, and his touch just let him down. Allowed Lucas Oten to get back in. Good work down the right-hand side from Basden Darvel. Here's Dean. Trying to find back Basden Darvel, but Charles battling. And again, very strong defending there from the Bajans. I think it was Adam King once again doing the defensive work. He's had a brilliant game. Been very solid. Here's Barker. Oh, lovely skill from Tree Barker. And he continues his run as well. This is brilliant from the number 8. Slips through. And he's offside, isn't he? Yep, Malik Peters. Think he might have wanted it earlier. Just a bit frustrated there. It was a beautiful run from Trey Barker through the midfield. Evaded everybody in his path. Garland launches it and slips in the process. Does find a teammate though. But King is there. Hasn't given Charles a chance today as Adam King. He's been really good in that centre-back position. But here's Dean. Into Charles. It's a lovely touch past Collymore. And Collymore has to be careful. But he did well in the end. And actually was fouled in the process as well. So it will be a free kick for Shaquan King and Barbados. And they take it quickly. Here's Roach. Rollins tried to take it inside, but touch wasn't good. He is again doing possession, and he gives it away again. Exilus. Possession just being handed over and over and over amongst the teams. Or between the teams, rather. And eventually goes out of play. A throw-in for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's Guerrier. Launches that one into Barbados territory, but King is there as ever. Small can't control. And here's Exilus. He did really well. Charles, big opportunity here for the Turks and Caicos Islands, but again, it's good defending by the Bajans. It's been frustrating on top for Charles today. Guerrier is back doing his defensive work, and that's very composed there from the Turks and Caicos Island. Maybe too composed, and Peters! And surely now, Barbados will play in Tobago on Sunday in the finals. And with some help, it has to be said, from the Turks and Caicos Islands. But finally, after all his hard work today, Malik Peters has scored Barbados' third goal of the match. And look at what it means to him. Finally, he deserves it, doesn't he? He's worked really hard. Let's take another look. They were really composed, and it was looking good right up until here. It's Amari Small again with the assist, pressuring Hilaire. And then the finish there from Malik Peters. Edwin Garland got a touch to it, but just wasn't enough. And there he is, Malik Peters, still celebrating because he knows how big of a goal that is. But play has resumed. I don't think the Bajans were ready for it. I certainly wasn't. Here's Basden Darvel. Wins a corner for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Ball swung in, and slipped through the palms of King. That could have been problems for the Bajans, but they get away with it, and King launches it up into the Port of Spain sky. Johnson, he hasn't gotten on the score sheet yet. Would love to, I'm sure. Here he is, driving at those yellow jerseys, Jamarco Johnson. Here's Rollins. Barker. Small. Small has a strike. Big save from Garland. Pushes it out wide for another Barbados corner. Well, Amari Small is absolutely on fire today. A goal, 2 assists, and he's still hungry for more. That was a lovely strike. And he's running across to take this corner kick. And it's taken quickly. Johnson, the captain for Barbados, dinks it in and well held by Edwin Garland. Turn inside. Turks and Caicos Islands. I generally don't tend to count out teams, but looking more and more like a Barbados victory here, as they have just under 5 minutes of normal time to find 3 goals. And here's Peters. Barbados aren't letting up. Rollins looking for the pass back to him, but couldn't find it. Guerrier does well, and it's a goal kick. And Barbados looking to send in some troops as well. They're readying Israel Watson. Turks and Caicos Islands have a substitution themselves, and it is going to be Charles who is coming on for David Hilaire in the late stages. 4 minutes remaining. Barbados, very impressive performance in this second half. All courtesy of Amari Small, it has to be said. Everybody's done their job, but he really has been the standout in this one. Adam King and Tariq Collimo as well at the back have been stellar, keeping a clean sheet thus far. Here's Jamarco Johnson. Ball is nicked away from him into Trey Barker. Dinked over. Oh, and a mistake almost there by Otin, but he recovers and gets some support from Montelos as well. Here's Peters driving still. He got his goal. Lovely ball in as well. Amari Small. Oh, just couldn't redirect that one goalwards. Oh, what a goal that would have been as well. Malik Peters with some excellent workouts on the left-hand side. And there are the substitutions for Barbados. It is Javier Marshall who is coming on for Trey Barker. Scored today. Brilliant performance from him. And it's going to be Israel Watson who is coming on for Rosario Roach, who had a really good game in the midfield as well for Barbados. But Peters, after his effort, seems to have injured himself. I mean, he has worked tirelessly today. He's been running all day long. And it's finally taken a toll on him. And the physio, Khadija Williams, is out there just checking to make sure that everything is okay with their number 9. And they really wouldn't want any injuries now, the Bajans, because they're going to need that full-strength team for the finals. Look at this. This is the effort there from Malik Peters. Got the ball across, and yeah, he just fell a little awkwardly, didn't he? And Small just couldn't redirect it. Deserves another goal, Amari Small, has to be said. But Peters is back on his feet. Good signs. And play can resume. Gardner launches that one forward. 3 goals in less than 2 minutes is a very difficult task for any team. But we've seen stranger things in the game of football. Here's King. Into Small. Turning nicely. Johnson. Still yet to get his goal in this game. Here's Amari Small. Jamarco Johnson nicks it away from Bazden Davel. And he goes still, Jamarco Johnson, looking for that goal, and he's fouled. Really wants to get on the score sheet, doesn't he? The captain got an assist, but that's not enough for him. 5 goals already he has in this tournament. And 5 minus 1 is 4. And that's the amount of time that's going to be added on at the end of this second half. 4 minutes we have remaining here. And 4 minutes the Turks and Caicos Islands have to try and find 3 goals. And it's Amari Small who's standing over this free kick for Barbados. The man in form, the man who has lit up the Hasely Crawford Stadium today, strikes that one. And, well, confidence definitely oozing through the Bajan number 7, but that wasn't troubling anybody. And later on, the Bajans are making yet another substitution. So Malik Peters has come off of the pitch, or is coming off. Brilliant performance from him, got his goal in the end. Very well deserved, and you do think that Fitzgerald Carter just protecting his player a bit for the finals, and it's Javonte Ward who is getting a bit of a run in this semi-final. Gardner heaves it upfield, but it's back into Bajan possession. Here's Johnson. Plays that one over, but way too much on that for Rollins. And that's a goal kick for the Turks and Caicos Islands. But this is only semi-final 1, and semi-final 2 will be on later for you. Bermuda taking on Anguilla right here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium. That will determine who will be Barbados' opposition, and problems once again for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Icing on the cake, big save. Edwin Garland was the substitute, Javonte Ward, who got that strike, but an excellent save by the Turks and Caicos Islands keeper. Even in the late stages here, Barbados still want more. Surely that's a yellow card. Has to be a booking. He was just all over Rollins. There was Montelas, who, to be fair to him, did have a very good game. But unfortunately, does look as if he's going to be on the losing end. Jamarco Johnson standing over this free kick for Barbados. Can he convert this free kick and make it 4 for Barbados and send them into that finals very convincingly? All is set up. Bajans ready to celebrate. Johnson strikes it. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Might have been the upright. What an effort there from Jamarco Johnson. And how closer than that does it get? The Bajans still want more. That's another foul. And a free kick for Barbados. This time it's Israel Watson who's fouled, and the Bajans, well, they couldn't be happier. Have a look at that. Jamarco Johnson, beautiful technique. And it beats Garland, yeah, just off the upright. And he's been really unlucky there, Jamarco Johnson. Would have loved to see that just roll across the inside of the net. Small whips it in, back post. Good keeping from Garland. Danger still there though. Johnson. Oh, and cleared away by the Turks and Caicos Islands defense. Here's King. Finds Watson. Small. Can't keep it in possession. And, oh, it's back with Johnson. Cleared away. Charles. Haven't seen much of him in a little bit. But here he is. Has options in the middle. Delays the cross, though. Turning and not really going anywhere, was he? And it is Collymore there who was fouled. And any minute now, it should be Bajan's success. They're just counting down the seconds. Here's Johnson. All eyes on Charlie's hood. The referee, Johnson, playing that one out wide, eventually reaches its target. Here he is again, Jamarco Johnson, showing some of his skills. Waterman. Oh, that's a lovely ball into Rollins. And can this be a 4th for the Bajans? Rollins gets to the byline. Oh, and Small is there. Well defended by Charles. Oh. Well, they've looked so threatening in the second half. Every time they go forward, it seems to be problems for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Rollins has injured himself in the process. But he's okay now. And you do think that that could be the last bit of action in this first semi-final. Well, for all the Bajans here in Trinidad and Tobago, start packing your suitcases and lining up at the ferry terminal, because you have a final to go and view in Tobago on Sunday. Barbados have come out victorious in this first semi-final over the Turks and Caicos Islands, 3-0. A very convincing second half performance sees the boys in blue advance to the finals of the CFU Under-14 Challenge Series, and boy do they deserve it. First half was very much in the balance, but the second half was all Barbados. And that scoreline tells it all. 3-0. Convincing is probably an understatement. Beautiful performance from the Bajans. Amari Small, sure to get man of the match. There he is. Yeah, what a brilliant performance from him. Started off with the scoring a goal and then providing assists for 2 of the goals. 100% goal involvement for that young man. Brilliant. What a future he has ahead of him. And what a future do the Bajans have ahead of them. A near future as well. A final on Sunday against either Bermuda or Anguilla. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one. In the first half, Exilus had his chances. That one straight to Shaquan King, who somewhat gathered it in the end. And again, Turks and Caicos with a big chance. Again, it was Exilus in the mix, finding Dean, who just had a curling strike that just spun a bit wide. King was at full stretch, agonizingly spinning wide for the Turks and Caicos Islands. And then this was the first goal, Jamarco Johnson in the second half. Peters missed his kick, but Amari Small connected. Purity and a beautiful finish. That was 1-0 to Barbados. Look at what it means to Amari Small. He knows how big of a goal that was. And he ran across to the bleachers to celebrate with his fans. And then look at this small turn provider dinking that one in to Trebaka. How about that for a finish? Just touched it past Edwin Garland in the Turks and Caicos Islands post. And that was 2-0 for the Bajans. And at that point in time, you kind of knew that they were going to run away with this one. Turks and Caicos Islands were well and truly out of it at this point in time. Barker celebrating at the corner flag as he does every time he scores. Then it was all Amari Small again. A strike from distance. Good save from Edwin Garland. Pushing that one out for a corner. And then even close to the end, they had chances. Did the Bajans substitute Javonte Ward with a strike and another big save from Edwin Garland. Did have a really good game, the Turks and Caicos Islands goalkeeper. This one, though, he couldn't get at the end of it. And unfortunately for Jamarco Johnson, it just came off the upright. And he didn't get his goal in this game, but he wouldn't care because he's led his troops to a 3-0 victory here in this first semi-final. And there he is, Amari Small, just waiting to receive that well-deserved Man of the Match award. Big smile on his face. He's a confident lad. He'll know that the job isn't done yet, though. Still have a final to try and win on Sunday. But as of today, what a brilliant performance from the Barbados number 7. And that is a happy Bajan camp. And all eyes on the second semi-final between Bermuda and Anguilla to see who will be facing up, or squaring up rather, against these very impressive Bajans. But as Amari Small receives his award and as the Bajans continue to celebrate, that is all we have for you for this first semi-final here at the Hasely Crawford Stadium. It is Barbados who advanced to the finals of the CFU Under-14 Boys Challenge Series Tier 2 with a very convincing 3-0 victory over the Turks and Caicos Islands. I've been Liu Chin in commentary with you here. Do thank you for viewing and do have a good afternoon.
Sixth, the official ground transportation provider for the 2024 CFU Boys Under-14 Challenge Series, coordinators hosted in Trinidad and Tobago. And a special thanks to our partners, the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, Sport TT, I Choose Sport, Powerade, Subway, and Stream Blue. Scan the QR code now to win special merchandise packages. Prizes include a Sport TT notepad, a cap, a keychain, or a drawstring Visit Trinidad bag, a water bottle, and a microfiber towel, or a I Choose Sport t-shirt, pencil case, and a phone popper. Scan the QR code now to win special merchandise packages.
It doesn't matter if you speak English, or if your native tongue is French, Spanish, or Dutch. It doesn't matter if you are male or female, young or young at heart. We in the Caribbean Football Union speak the same language. Football.
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 And we speak with one voice.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Presents the Italianos, 3 new subs made with an Italian flair. Say ciao to the zesty hotshot Italiano, the tastier than ever ultimate BMT, or go all in with the boss. Each served with a free 16-ounce drink. Elevate your game at Subway.
Bob, I know it's dangerous, but you're the only one who can unite the people.
You ready, Bob?
No guns can stop this message. I want the world to change. And that time is now.